$1 million in 2004 buys about $640,000 today. Prices rose over 80%. The balance never moved. Retirees who beat inflation aren't those with the biggest savings. They're the ones with income built to keep pace. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that since 2000, the Consumer Price Index has climbed more than 80%. That means a basket of groceries, a tank of gas, or a month of health insurance that cost $100 at the start of the millennium now takes about $180. The impact stretches across every corner of a retiree's budget. $1 million nest egg from 2004 carries the buying power of just $640,000 today. Almost a third is gone, even if the account statement never budged. Monthly expenses tell the same story. A retiree who needed $4,000 a month 2 decades ago would need more than $7,200 today just to match the same standard of living. These are not distant hypotheticals. They are the lived reality for anyone trying to stretch savings over a retirement that can last 20 or 30 years. Inflation does not just raise prices, it quietly shrinks what security means year after year. Karen retired 4 years ago, confident her savings would cover the basics. Each month, she checks her account. But what really matters is whether her Social Security and withdrawals will stretch to the next bill. She is not alone. 37% of Americans over 65 depend on Social Security for more than 90% of their income. For Karen, that check arrives like clockwork, but groceries and utilities do not wait for the market to recover. Retirement, for most, is not a single number on a statement. It is the steady arrival of cash to pay for daily life. Behavioral studies show that when retirees rely on ad hoc withdrawals, they often spend more in good markets and cut back sharply in downturns, adding stress and uncertainty. The difference between feeling secure and feeling anxious often comes down to whether income is structured to arrive predictably, month after month, not just how much is sitting in an account. A cash flow mindset reframes retirement as a living, breathing process, one that adapts to rising prices and shifting needs over time. Luis is 62 and thinking about his next move. For him, the foundation of retirement is knowing that a basic income will arrive each month, no matter how the market behaves. Social Security is the backbone for most Americans, and the rules are clear. Claim as early as age 62, or wait for a bigger check. If Luis waits until 70, his monthly benefit jumps by about 77%, compared to starting at 62. That is not just a bonus, it is a built-in hedge against living longer and against rising prices, since Social Security adjusts for inflation every year. But Luis does not want to rely on one source. He adds a steady stream of dividends from a broad market ETF, which currently yields around 3%. This combination creates a floor, money that shows up whether stocks soar or slump. With these two layers, Luis covers the basics: rent, groceries, utilities. Everything else can be planned on top of this stable, predictable foundation. A reliable retirement plan relies on more than steady checks. Many retirees build a bond ladder, staggering maturities so cash becomes available each year, no matter what the market does. Treasury inflation, protected securities, or TIPS adjust payouts as the Consumer Price Index rises, keeping up with official inflation. That is why a cash buffer, usually 12 to 18 months of living expenses, is now standard advice for stability. For someone withdrawing $4,500 a month, that means keeping at least $54,000 liquid. Over 6 years, if inflation averages 3.5%, a fixed monthly withdrawal of $4,500 loses nearly $900 of buying power, a quiet squeeze that can upend careful plans. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows food-at-home costs have jumped 15% and energy costs nearly 30%. Vanguard and Morningstar data reveal that retirees with cash reserves and a bond or tips ladder are less likely to face forced spending cuts when prices spike, a sign of greater resilience. When markets drop or inflation spikes, a modest adjustment can make a big difference. Many financial planners recommend trimming withdrawals by about 10 to 15% in tough years. This is not about drastic cuts. It is a temporary step that helps protect the portfolio's long-term health. Research on flexible withdrawal strategies shows that even a small reduction during downturns can extend the life of retirement savings and reduce the risk of running out of money. The key is to stay flexible, review spending each year, and make small changes when needed, rather than sticking to a rigid withdrawal plan. Annual reassessment is the habit that keeps a retirement plan strong. Each year, retirees line up their income sources, Social Security, dividends, bond interest, and cash reserves, and check how well these layers are covering rising costs. This review isn't about overhauling everything. It is a steady routine. Behavioral research shows that those who revisit their plan each year are more likely to adjust smoothly rather than react in panic when prices jump or markets slip. The goal is not perfection, but a pattern of small, timely adjustments that help income match real world needs. With this discipline, retirement becomes a series of manageable steps, not a leap of faith. Today, inflation quietly reshapes every retirement plan. Monthly income, not a balance, keeps living standards real. Durable cash flow is the shield. In this economy, structure beats size. Thanks for watching.